we are going to review how to find the slope of a line. So first, we're going to review the vocabulary. I know you have this in your notes, but we're just going to make sure that we have it. Remember, the rate of change between any 2 points, I'm putting that in all caps because it's really important, 2 points. Doesn't matter what 2 points, but the rate of change between any 2 points on a line tells the steepness of a line on a graph. And we need to remember that the larger the number is, the steeper the line will be. There are 2 ways to find slope. We can find it by using a graph and using rise over run, which is right here, which is the change in the y up or down, over, so let's remember rise is up or down, over the run, which goes across. Or if we have 2 points, we use y minus y over x minus x. So we're first going to start by finding the slope of line AE. So when we're looking at line AE, we can't really see points noticeably on the line. The points are always where the graph makes that perfect cross and your line goes through it. So right there is point A. So I'm just going to make that a little darker so we can see it. Down here on E, again, our graph right through the corner is point E. So to find the slope of this line by counting, we're going to use the graph. This graph is not numbered, so I'm going to number it by 1. So this would be -1, -2, -3, -1 here, -2, -3. Positives go up, 1, 2, 3, and to the right, 1, 2, 3. So we want to do rise over run. I'm going to write that here so we can see it again. Rise over run. So rise is how much it goes up or down. Run is how much it goes across to get from one point to the next. So from A to E, working left to right, we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we went down 5. And we went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our slope is 5 over 6. However, since we went down, whenever we go down or to the left on the number line, it is negative. So it's -5, 6. Another way to remember whether our slope is positive or negative is to look at Mr. Slope. So I'm going to quick draw Mr. Slope here. So here he is with his eyebrows. If his eyebrows are going up from left to right, it's positive. If his eyebrows are going down, the slope will be negative. Now today we're not going to need to worry about zero slope and undefined slope, but we're going to put them on here just so we remember. If we have a line that goes straight up and down, here's Mr. Slope's nose with a U under it. That means the slope is undefined. We'll talk about that some more in the future. And if we go straight across, we'll put some dimples on the end. That means our slope is 0. Today, we're mainly going to worry about positive slopes and negative slopes, but if you do see these in the future, an up and down line is undefined. That's why there's a U under there. And a straight across line or a horizontal line is 0, hence the dimples. But I told you we could also find the slope just by having the point. So when we look at our graph here, our point for A is a -3. So we went over -3 and up 2. So our point for A was -3, 2. For B, oops, sorry, not B. Let's try E. E, our point was 3. We went over 3, down to -3. So our point was 3, -3. Our formula for finding slope, if we didn't have the graph and we just had the points, we can find the slope by using y minus y over x minus x. So let's take a look at that. When we are looking at our points, remember the first point is always x, and the second number is always our y. X first, y second. So to find the slope, we're going to start with the y's. It does not matter which point you start on. I always just start on whichever one comes first so I don't mess up my order. Here is a y. So we're going to do 2 minus the y of our second point. Our y on this point was -3, so it's 2 minus -3. On bottom, we're going to have our x's. So we come back to our first point. Here's our first x. So x was -3 minus our second x. In this case, x was 3. And then we have to remember our rule for adding integers. So 2 minus a -3. Whenever we have subtraction, we can change that to add the opposite. So I'm going to change this to 2 plus 3, which is 5. On the bottom, we have -3 minus 3, so we're going to change that to -3 plus -3, add the opposite, which gives us -6. You can see our slope by using the points is -5/6, which is the same as what we got by counting. Remember, this negative that we got here could be on the bottom, it could be on the top, or it could be just in the front of the fraction. But again, looking at our line, it's going downhill, so we remember that our slope is negative from Mr. Slope.